So I frequently hear women talk about having intrusive thoughts. They're having these really mistrusting feelings about their husband, and they don't know if they should trust him. And they're super angry, but they don't know if they should be. And basically, categorizing all of these symptoms and more as Satan not wanting their marriage to work out. And so they're being attacked. And I cringe when I see that or hear that. And here's why. Because all of those things that I just described, whether it's intrusive thoughts of what you have heard that he did with somebody else, or what the pornography that you've seen that he saw, whether it's intrusive thoughts flashing through your mind in a nightmare or in your waking life, whether it's getting panicky or feeling like I can't trust him and that gut sense that something's wrong, I don't know if I can trust him. All of these feelings and more that I'm not listing are trauma symptoms. God wired our bodies and our brains and our guts to go off when our attachment with our primary relationship is ruptured. I think it's a big thing to blame Satan and he doesn't want my marriage to succeed. I'm not saying that there's not a warfare element involved, but I think that it's much easier to look at Satan as the enemy than the scarier possibility that your husband is the actual source of danger or threat because of his trust-breaking activities. And what is happening in you may not really be the result of warfare. Satan doesn't have to work very hard because God has already created us with this threat response in our brains and in our guts and in our hearts, that when there's an incongruence or when there's been a secret sexual life, it'll go off like crazy. And then we have all these trauma symptoms. So it's problematic to blame that on the enemy, because then we never actually get help for the trauma, for the betrayal trauma. We never actually address the true source of the threat, which is his unwanted sexual behavior and deception. It's kind of comforting to some couples, I think, to have a common enemy, and the common enemy is Satan. But it can be a real cop-out. And the reality is that God did not make us in spirit alone, but we are body, soul, spirit, heart, mind, will. We have a nervous system. We have a gut. All of these things work in unison together. They're not separate.